In more ways than one. First, they will try to end the nation's longest win streak in high school football when they host the Austin Westlake Chaparrals in the Alamodome this Saturday at 2 o'clock. The Chaps have won 53 straight after defeating San Benito 44-7. They are now 13-0 on the season. Now, Brendan stands in the way at 12-1 following the Bears' big win over the other Austin powerhouse, Lake Travis, 34-17. Now, these two clash to find out who advances to the Class 6A Division I state semifinals.
Just, come out and execute. We got to play a hard game, a tough game versus a really good team. They're a nationally ranked team, but we think we can, if we go out and execute, we can get the job done.
We know we can do it, and we have the expectations to, and we have the players and the skill guys, but we just have to be there mentally, and we have to be there physically, and just be there, be on the top of our game.
In the meantime, the Smiths Valley Rangers have moved up to number 2 in the latest edition of 12's Top 12, right behind Brennan, who has reclaimed number 1. That's after the Rangers were able to beat Fulshire 31-13 in the Class 5A Division I regional semifinals. They improved to 12-1, and they're now headed to the state quarterfinals, where they will face College Station this Saturday at 2 o'clock at the field in Pflugerville, after the Lions beat Georgetown 52-28 to improve to 11-2.
They're a really tough opponent. They've been to state a couple of times, so we know it's not going to be an easy one. We just got to play our hearts out, because we know if we don't get over this game, there's not going to be a next week, so we just got to focus on this one.
We've all grown up with each other, and we've always dreamed of this, of going far in the playoffs and eventually getting a state championship. So to continue being able to pursue that dream together is huge, especially with the juniors and sophomores and freshmen that we have.
College ranks. The Longhorns regular season ended last weekend with the big win over the Baylor Bears, 38-27. Now they wait to see who and where they will play in a bowl game. They won't find out until Saturday. They finished with an 8-4 record. If you look at a lot of the bowl game predictions, and they have a great chance of coming here to San Antonio for the Alamo Bowl to take on either Oregon or Washington. It is also going to be interesting to see who is on the team when they show up to that bowl game. We are talking about players like star running back Bijan Robinson. He has to consider whether or not he should return for his senior season or turn pro after a career season in Austin with 1,580 yards and 18 touchdowns on the ground, 2 through the air. It certainly looked as if he had played his last game at Austin as he soaked in the victory over the Bears, even firing off Old Smoky.
Maybe it is in their best interest not to play, right? There's risk and reward in all this. And so I try to have candid conversations with all of them individually to hopefully, come to really good decisions. But I just, like I said, I hate it for them. I wish we could ensure everybody that if something were to happen, you'd be taken care of. Unfortunately, that's not the case.
And as many as 5 players have entered the transfer portal following the Fighting Texas Aggies' disappointing 5-7 finish despite the 38-23 upset of LSU on Saturday night. Among those wanting out of College Station, defensive end Donald Harris, linebacker Ish Harris, defensive end Elijah Judy, running back LJ Johnson, and kicker Caden Davis. So they're going to have some holes in the defense. This comes as the Aggies fired offensive coordinator Darryl Dickey, even though head coach Jim Fisher was the game day play caller. So a lot of shakeups in College Station after a win.
I've been asked not to make any more Aggie comments during the show.
Okay.
Now to Travel Tuesday, when flights, hotels, and cruises are marked way down with prices and packages that can make your dream getaway a reality. We're going to tell you which companies are offering the best deals in the next half hour.
And new today at 5, it's an elf that brings joy and smiles to kids across San Antonio. We are talking about Elf Louise returns for the holiday season. The prep work underway now to make this year bigger and better. That story today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight.
The man who opened fire on a New York supermarket, killing 10 people, in court this week. ABC's Rita Roy explains how this man will avoid a lengthy trial.
A solemn day in court Monday as the shooter responsible for a racist rampage pleaded guilty to all charges.
And that is what we got today. which was swift justice.
19-year-old Peyton Gendron replying yes and guilty as the judge named each victim in charge, including murder, attempted murder, and domestic terrorism motivated by hate, which carries a mandatory life sentence in New York State.
The defendant, with the intent to murder as many African Americans as he could, killed 10 innocent black people and attempted to kill 3 others.
State prosecutors detailing the teen's meticulous plan, saying he visited the supermarket twice to canvass the area, driving several hours from his home to target the predominantly black neighborhood. They say he also wrote a lengthy document filled with racist rhetoric. Families of the victims emotional in court as new details of the attack were revealed.
And I see my mother. And I see my mother all the time. And to just imagine what she faced in that moment.
The shooter will be sentenced in February. Victims' families will have the chance to read impact statements. He's also facing federal charges, which could potentially result in the death penalty. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Former White House Deputy Chief of Staff Tony Ornato is scheduled to meet Tuesday with the House Select Committee looking into the January 6th siege on the U.S. Capitol. According to 2 sources close to the matter, Ornato could shine a light on the actions of then President Donald Trump prior to and during the attack, protesting Trump's loss in the 2020 election to then candidate Joe Biden. In June, former Trump aide Cassidy Hutchinson testified under oath that Ornato, who was with the U.S. Secret Service at the time, told her that Trump demanded his protective detail take him to the Capitol on January 6th. Ornato has not denied Hutchinson's claim publicly.
You might want to be extra cautious when you're looking for health information on the Twitterverse. The company announcing it is dropping its COVID-19 misinformation policy. Shortly after the virus was spreading across the U.S. in 2020, Twitter put into effect this set of rules that focused on, quote, combating harmful misinformation about coronavirus-related issues, end quote. Over the past 2.5 years, Twitter says thousands of accounts were suspended for breaking those parameters. The change in policy, a low-key announcement made in a note on Twitter's website.
The world's largest active volcano erupting after nearly 40 years of silence. The lava spewing from the Mauna Loa volcano on Hawaii is not threatening any communities, but the Big Island was told to be ready as Hawaii's Mauna Loa spews ash and steam. Environmental experts are warning people about low air quality and VOG, or smog-containing volcanic dust. And even though lava is not threatening downhill communities, the U.S. Geological Science Society warns the volcano's conditions can change rapidly.
Although the flows currently aren't threatening lives or property, Mauna Loa eruptions can be very dynamic.
Emergency shelters have been opened as a precaution. Hawaii's governor stresses that Hawaii remains open for business and tourists are still welcome to the island. That's just fascinating to look at that, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And look at this. 77 degrees. Yes, we are heading into December on some pretty days, but don't put your sweaters away.
No,
keep
this is
the firewood stocked up.
Keep it handy. This is a one-day thing because by tomorrow it'll be cooler once again. Not bitter cold, but cold nonetheless. Right now we've got some pretty beautiful weather, as you just saw, and I want to show you this picture from San Fernando. How beautiful is that? The blue skies, the Christmas scene there. That is a great angle and a great shot. We appreciate the pics as always on our KSAT Connect. You can submit your pictures, by the way, through our KSAT weather app. Temperatures right now 74 at the airport, 76 Converse, 73 Bernie Stage. These numbers will warm pretty significantly over the next couple of hours. I think a lot of places in Bexar County could jump into the 80s later this afternoon under those mostly sunny skies, and we'll deal with humidity as well. So 80s today, but by tomorrow morning, back to jacket weather. We'll be in the 40s to start your Wednesday. Gusty winds on top of that. So be prepared for that change. And as we time out the front tonight, it's expected to arrive to the Hill Country around midnight, San Antonio by 3 a.m., and the rest of the area by 6 a.m. We'll see a very small chance for a shower generally east of San Antonio. Gusty winds behind the front, and there is also the potential for some wind chills tomorrow morning. How does the rest of the week look, and how cold is this air? We're looking at some of the numbers up north. I'm going to show you the temperature map for the rest of the country coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Look forward to that. Thank you, Justin. There's Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and now Travel Tuesday. Travel experts say today is the day to book flights if you want to score the best deals. Southwest Airlines marking down its flights 30% for flights between January 10th and March 8th.
Typically on Travel Deal Tuesday, we see about 50% more deals available than on Black Friday and about 30% more than Cyber Monday.
And it's not just airfare. Hotels and cruises also on sale. Hyatt offering 20% off hotel stays through April. Select cruises on Norwegian and Virgin offering buy one passenger and get a second free. Team USA set to play an important match against Iran this afternoon as the World Cup continues, but things are getting heated between the teams. How players are trying to keep political tensions off the pitch.
Hello everyone, these are your top headlines from Cheddar News. Apple facing a production shortage of 6 million iPhone Pros this year due to the turmoil at a key plant in Zhengzhou. That according to Bloomberg. The Foxconn facility there produces the vast majority of iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max devices, Apple's most in-demand models this year. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization said Monday it would begin referring to monkeypox as Mpox. That in an effort to reduce stigma. Both names will be used simultaneously for a year, that while monkeypox is phased out. The decision comes after the name monkeypox, which was first identified in monkeys, was criticized for adding to racial stigmatization. And returning CEO Bob Iger for Disney held his first company-wide meeting Monday and told employees that he has no plans to end the hiring freeze put in place by his predecessor earlier this month. Iger said workers need to be skeptical about the future of traditional television that as viewers move to streaming services. And that's your Cheddar News Update. I'm Baker Machado coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
Now to the World Cup and Team USA gearing up for this afternoon's must-win game against Iran.
Oh my goodness, the yelling in the newsroom going on during this. ABC's Will Reeve explains there is tension between the two teams and it has nothing to do with soccer.
The stakes for the U.S. men's national team are simple and huge. Win or go home.
It's going to be a tough battle. You know, we're going to have a lot of energy in this game and make sure that we're mentally prepared.
The pressure heightened by unexpected political tensions off the pitch. Iran's state-run media demanding FIFA kick the U.S. out of the World Cup for a social media post in which the U.S. team account temporarily removed the Islamic emblem from Iran's flag. U.S. Soccer initially saying the post was a deliberate nod of support for human rights protesters in Iran, before deciding to delete the post.
We had no idea about what U.S. Soccer put out. Our thoughts are with the Iranian people, the whole country, the whole team, everyone, but our focus is on this match.
Protests have been roiling Iran for months after the death of Mahsa Amini, the 22-year-old who died after she was arrested for allegedly not wearing a head covering properly. At a contentious press conference on the eve of the game, U.S. captain Tyler Adams and coach Greg Berhalter fielded a series of non-soccer questions, many from Iranian journalists.
First of all, you say you support the Iranian people, but you're pronouncing our country's name wrong. Our country is named Iran, not Iran. Please, once and for all, let's get this clear. Second of all, are you okay to be representing a country that has so much discrimination against black people in its own borders?
My apologies on the mispronunciation of your country. That being said, you know, there's discrimination everywhere you go.
You are more than welcome in our country, but we are not. So what's your reaction about that?
You know, I don't know enough about politics. I'm a soccer coach.
The U.S. keen to put the attention back on the field. They've tied their first two games in this World Cup, securing 1 point each against Wales and group leader England. Nearly the youngest team in this year's tournament, they know their World Cup destiny is in their own hands.
That was ABC's Will Reeve reporting.
Team USA takes to the pitch at 1 this afternoon, about 16,
and everybody's got their alarm set. And Justin Horn, probably the biggest soccer fan with RJ Marquez in the newsroom. You got to pay attention to the weather, though. You got to do that because it changes.
We're paying attention. But I'm a basketball guy, but I do love the World Cup. I do enjoy it. Hopefully, U.S. stays victorious today. We'll see how it plays out. 74 degrees so far, the high, 65 the low this morning. So it's been warm and humid to start. 91 is the record. That was set back in 1949. We don't get there, but we do jump into the 80s today before our cold front arrives tonight. We'll time out that front once again, and we'll talk about some changes for the weekend, too. That's coming up.
Just talk about a lot of changes coming, man. It's like, you put on shorts and T-shirt today and get the fire going tomorrow.
I know. Do your shopping, make some soup, maybe a gumbo. You're going to need it.
Ooh, you going to do that?
I was thinking about it.
Okay.
It's not a bad idea.
You have leftovers?
You want me to bring some in?
Ooh, sounds good.
You always do in the break room, right?
Well, it's because it's impossible to make a small pot of gumbo. I don't know how to do that.
Well, we appreciate you sharing.
And I've only got 2 people at home eating it.
Well, we appreciate it. We always do, especially on those chilly mornings. And I think we're going to see that coming up tomorrow. Not the case right now. As we go outside, it's really pretty balmy. Temperatures have made it up now to 74 at the airport, but we're closing in on 80 out there at Kelly. Southerly winds anywhere from 5 to 10 right now. Temperature-wise, we are starting to see some 80s on the map. Pleasanton 81, Gonzales 80, 79 New Braunfels, 69 out in Del Rio, and clouds held on a little bit longer out there with some fog. We had area-wide fog this morning. That has since dissipated. And a little closer look there at Bear County. We're at 77 right now in Helotes and 78 in Devine. As we look at the forecast for the rest of today, looks like we're hung up here on this temperature graphic. Let me go see if I can work the computers over here. And we'll try to get through the rest of the forecast. But we mentioned that potential for a front that'll be coming through, and now the space bar's not working. Now this is never good, guys. It's
hot today. It's melted everything,
I'm telling you.
75 degrees.
Just locked up solid. Okay. Well, you're just going to have to listen to me, I guess.
Okay.
What I can tell you is that we'll get a front through here tonight. We think that'll be around 3 or 4 o'clock. And that's when we'll start to see some of the drier air, cooler air come in. And that's when we'll start to get some changes. So, man, this is completely locked up. You can't even control alt delete. That's when you know it's bad.
All right. Do you want to just go on camera and
tell us what's happening?
Tell us what's happening.
I'm going to have to. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to try to restart this real quick. But
I
yes,
can do charades next to you.
Well, you could.
Oh, look at there.
Oh, did we go with black?
Now
Bear with me, guys.
Oh, it's us now.
Sorry about that.
All right. There is a warm weather front right now. That's going away. And
you guys may have a new future.
I may have a future in meteorology tomorrow morning.
Chilly.
Sweaters, jackets, even the big coat.
Here is the bottom line forecast, and that I can give to you. And that is that we'll see
Come over here, Justin.
You want me to
come over here.
Come over here.
And this is total ad-lib TV here.
We'll chat about.
We'll be in the 80s today, okay? And then 40s by tomorrow morning. Cold front comes through around 2 or 3 o'clock. No rain with this front, but it does get windy tomorrow, a lot cooler. And we're starting off in the 40s tomorrow. Wind chills maybe in the 30s. And then by the afternoon, probably only around 60 degrees. So that's that 20-degree temperature difference.
Wow. Big swing.
Big swing.
Pack smartly.
Yes. Be prepared tomorrow as the kids go off to school. Send them with the jackets. Don't let them forget. And then we're kind of back and forth this week. We did just get some new model data in for the weekend, and it looks like we could get a frontal boundary on Saturday, which may change things a little bit this weekend as far as temperatures go, maybe a little cooler on Sunday. Still not a lot of rain. So last week it was rainy. This week, not so much. We just have the fluctuation of temperatures.
Kind of partly cloudy Saturday in the 70s?
Probably in the 70s, and then Sunday may be more like 60s, depending on how far south this front pushes. So that'll be the weekend, kind of seeing a little bit of everything again, and that's kind of the theme of this forecast.
I kind of like this.
It's just a weather discussion.
We should have weather chat.
Weather chat.
Weather chat with Justin.
Sounds nice, but I feel very lost without graphics.
He wants to point.
I feel my arms feel the need to.
Okay, well, be careful with your swinging your arms.
Thanks for being flexible.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you coming in.
I'll just exit stage. Was it stage left? Stage right? I don't know.
Call IT.
All right, just as folks put their Thanksgiving in the rear view mirror, yeah, there's new holiday music set to be released. The newest sounds of the season still ahead.
Pentatonics has added a 6th album of holiday music to its discography.
And CNN's Rick Damigella talked with the singers. He brings us a listen. Plus, check out some new holiday tracks from other artists, too.
Pentatonic's latest album, Holidays Around the World, finds the a cappella quintet pushing its sonic boundaries.
We collaborated with a bunch of artists from different countries, and we also have some originals on there. And I think that this album, we're really leaning in and like pushing our sound to places we've never been before. And that combined with getting to celebrate all these different cultures and genres with artists from those countries, it's just been like a really creatively fulfilling and exciting project for us.
That's the late Scott Weiland singing John Lennon and Yoko Ono's Happy Christmas, War is Over. The cover is among 4 previously unreleased recordings on the reissue of Weiland's The Most Wonderful Time of the Year album, making its vinyl debut this holiday season.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's the merriest Christmas I have seen. Nina's drinking water from the tree.
All-girl punk rock group the Linda Lindas have released a festive new single. The Los Angeles Wonderkins began 2022 with the release of their debut album, Growing Up, and finished the year with the single, Groovy Christmas. Rocking out around the Christmas tree in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
All right, and Fiona is rocking around the Christmas tree by herself today.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Don't worry. Mike is rocking around. We're going to tell you where he is in just a moment. But we continue our Holly Jolly Week with DIY Christmas ornament ideas. How about these? Look at how beautiful those are. You can make them using your favorite flowers. We've got bloom and stem here. They're going to show us how to pull that off. And speaking of DIY ornaments, Jennifer Nicolella from Abby's Attic Studio is here. Hello. You've got a few DIY ones you're going to show us, but this one
we must talk about. Okay, so here's what we're going to make. All you need is a 4-inch circle, all your ingredients, a little hot glue, squirt, fill up your little taco shell, squirt again, close it up, ready to hang.
And there you go. All right, more from Jennifer will be coming up in the show. And Mike is out live giving us an on-point preview of the San Antonio Ballet's performance of the Nutcracker. Hey there, Mike.
How are you? Yes, Nutcracker opens this weekend, and Ballet San Antonio is in final rehearsals right now. We are going to show you some of the wonderful performances coming up in just a couple of moments.
And check this out right here. It is a book you can really devour, featuring recipes from San Antonio restaurants, bars, and chefs. We are going to whip up a recipe and tell you where you can find it. And it's the season of giving, and with it being a Giving Tuesday, we are going to introduce you to the Guinness World Record-holding youngest mariachi singer who will perform for us. All that and more when SA Live continues.
All right, welcome back. This is what I wanted to show you earlier, but could not. 80 degrees today. We're expecting sunny skies for the rest of the afternoon. That cold front comes in tonight, 47 to start your Wednesday. We make it up to 60 tomorrow, which is cold, but it will feel significantly cooler, especially with that north wind. 55 Thursday and cloudy. We get some drizzle and fog Friday morning. And a little bit of a change to the weekend forecast, as I was alluding to. 72 Saturday, but maybe somewhat cooler on Sunday with a frontal boundary before warming back up on Monday, guys.
I know what happened. Just so many changes, the computer could not keep up.
It's
because
possible.
It's like every 6 hours. Let's have a new front.
There you go.
Let's do something different.
This SA Live is like pure San Antonio because there's a cookbook with a bunch of San Antonio chefs and local bars and restaurants. And then there's the youngest mariachi singer. So what's more San Antonio than that, huh?
Pure San Antonio.
Love it. Starts right.
Yeah.
That's right. Today on SA Live, we continue our Holly Jolly Week with DIY Christmas ornament ideas using your favorite flowers. Plus, the Guinness World Record-holding youngest mariachi singer performs for us. We find out what motivates him. And you are bound to have a roaring good time watching these Christmas lights. Take a trip to the San Antonio Zoo for some Christmas fun with animals.
Celebrate San Antonio. Coming to you live from historic Market Square. This is SA Live.
Oh, hello and happy Tuesday. You are looking at dancers from Ballet San Antonio. Well, I'm Fiona Gorstiza, flying solo here today, but I've got my favorite silver fox, Mike Osterhage, joining me from afar. Hey there, Mike.
How are you, Fiona? Yes, we are out here at the Ballet San Antonio studios. Of course, they are in the moving process getting into the Tobin Center because, of course, the Nutcracker opens up on Friday evening. And so they've got a lot of the equipment down there, the floor in place, but they still have to do rehearsals out here. And that's what we are going to be seeing. We've seen a little bit of that already today. And then we get a special performance from the Sugar Plum herself and the Pas de Deux. And that's going to be coming up in just a couple of minutes. So, yes, nothing says Christmas like the Nutcracker, Fiona.
Oh, yes. I mean, and it is the season of giving, and it is a Giving Tuesday, right? So that got us thinking, you know, how do you give back?
Yeah, exactly, because a lot of organizations are asking for donations, a lot of nonprofits. So yeah, that is the question. How do you give back? Do you help out? Do you bake cookies for somebody, or do you give to certain charities? So we want to know, and hopefully we can see that a little bit later on in the show, how you can give back this holiday season. And don't just do it around Christmas and holiday season, maybe all year round.
All right, well, we are going to check in with Mike again in a few minutes, but let us know at SA Live KSAT on Facebook and Twitter how you give back. And of course, on the show, we love to support local and give back in that way. And our first guests today are sharing a book about all things San Antonio. Yes, joining us is Julia Rosenfeld, author of San Antonio Cooks, and Chef Peter Sipson, owner of Nola Brunch and Beignets. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Talk about a book you can really devour, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. You know, I wouldn't blame anybody for wanting to rip the pages out and eat them.
Well, when you flip through it, I mean, it looks so delicious, the pictures.
Yeah.
And tell us why it's a labor of love.
Well, you know, I've been writing about food for many, many years here in San Antonio, so when I was approached to do this, it was a really great way for me to showcase the diversity of San Antonio and our amazing food here. Absolutely.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's really become such an incredible foodie destination, right?
Yes, absolutely. We have everything from Moroccan to Szechuan to burgers to green enchiladas in the book. We have everything that you can imagine that's delicious to eat.
So recipes from restaurants,
Yes.
from bars, from chefs like Chef Peter
Yes.
here. Yes, and every chef has 2 recipes, right? in
Yeah,
the book?
2 recipes from
Okay.
each location.
From each location. And so tell us what you will be making us today, because this is one of them, right?
Yeah, we're doing one of my favorite breakfast dishes at the restaurant, kind of a play on 2 classic New Orleans dishes. In New Orleans, we call French toast pain perdu, which is like lost bread. So you use the old bread to make a delicious French toast, but I combine that with bread pudding. So we do like a really kind of creamy, custardy bread pudding, chill it down and make slices like this, and then we pan fry them just like you would bread pudding, or like French toast.
Okay, so walk us kind of
get
through.
started on it?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
absolutely. And so it's not as dense, or it is?
It's not as dense
Yeah.
as like most bread puddings because we use a lot of custard in there. There's like a good bit of milk and eggs. And we use this really great New Orleans French bread for it too. It's super light and airy.
I love that you can repurpose this. You know, you have it for dessert one night,
Yeah.
and then you get up the next morning and you get to repurpose it a different way and eat it all over again.
That's one of the cool things about this recipe is that it's you make like a big pan. Yeah, it's easy enough to make. You make it ahead of time, and when you're ready to serve some breakfast, all you got to do is throw this in a pan and cook it up.
And so how did you pick the 2 recipes?
I wanted to do one that was a little, more complex and fun for like the big home chefs. But this one is one that I did that's a little more casual and approachable, can feed the family real easy. And it's one of my favorites. There are 2 of my favorite recipes at the restaurant, and good representations of New Orleans cooking and what we do.
And what's the other recipe?
The other one we do it's called Eggs Rockefeller. It's not on the menu right now, but we bring it back from time to time. And it's a fun play on the classic oyster Rockefeller, but breakfast version.
Yes.
It's on there today.
Yes.
It's angry.
It's interactive.
Yes. All right, so while that's going, of course, this is just one version of this type of book, right?
Yeah, the publisher, Figure One Publishing, is out of Canada, and they've done a series in Canada, a series in the U.S. They've hit up Toronto and Vancouver, I think, Miami, Houston, Phoenix, just great food cities. And when they approached me, they wanted to do San Antonio because our food scene is so unique and interesting.
And unique in what way?
Well, we are a city of gastronomy, a UNESCO World City of Gastronomy, because of our roots with the Texas-Mexican fusion. And plus the other element of us having the Culinary Institute of America, the Art Institute, St. Philip's. We have a lot of places to train our chefs. So they're coming out of these training programs and getting out there with their personal identity tied to their foods as well.
And so this is just volume 1, right? Will there be a volume 2? I feel like we need a volume 2.
I feel like the popularity of this so far has indicated that there needs to be another volume. We had so many restaurants open during the pandemic that didn't get to be in, and I'd love to see them have their opportunity to share their love.
All right, real quickly before we go, tell folks where they can find it, where they can gift it for the holidays.
All of the 42 restaurants have copies to sell at their restaurants, and then you can also get it at Nowhere Bookstore, Twig, Barnes & Noble, online at Amazon, at Figure One Publishing. So there's no way that you can not get this book.
All right, okay, and I am just finishing the topping with
Yeah,
some.
we do a little almond raisin granola. I'm gonna grab this for you, and we'll do the fun stuff.
Okay.
Do almond raisin granola, a berry compote, and this is our house-made whipped cream. But you can put anything you want on it, and it's fire.
Looks delicious. Thank you guys for more on San Antonio Cooks. Just head to our website and click on the As Seen on SA Live tab. Well, from San Antonio Food to Ballet San Antonio, their production of the Nutcracker is about to hit the stage at the Tobin Center. And my favorite weatherman and Mother Ginger, Mike Osterhage, is out at Ballet San Antonio's studio. Mike, are you plie-ing or platzing?
I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching the experts do it here. We're going to talk more about and see a great performance of the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy in a moment. But first of all, joining us now is the artistic director, Sophie Ann Silva. It's so good to see you, and can't believe it's Nutcracker time already.
I know. I feel like I've just seen you, and here we are again. You are back.
And Nutcracker starts this weekend, so now you've moved into the Tobin kind of sort of, and then you'll start rehearsals there, but still finishing touches here, right?
So we've moved in costumes and everything that needs to be there. We still have the last day of rehearsals because tomorrow we launch with dress rehearsals.
Classic Nutcracker performance, some surprises?
Completely classical with some twist on it, but point shoes, tutus, crown, cavaliers, pas de deux, solos, all of it.
And nothing gets you in the Christmas spirit more than seeing the Nutcracker, right? And there's many opportunities to see it coming up.
Yes, we have the first weekend coming up this weekend. We have the second weekend on the 8, 9, 10, 11. And we have student matinees on week 2, which I'm very, very proud of.
And then also sensory performances too.
Correct. We offer a sensory-friendly performance completely free to the community, and that's going to be on our second week.
Okay, well, we have a very special performance right now, and on piano is Wayne Ching, Sophie and Will performing the Sugar Plum.
peek at Ballet San Antonio's The Nutcracker. And for more information, all you have to do is head to SALive.com, click on the As Seen on SA Live tab where we've provided a link, or just scan that QR code that you see there on your screen. Thank you so much, Mike. He'll have more from Ballet San Antonio's kind of sneak peek of The Nutcracker in just a few minutes.
Tuki 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 tuki, tuki 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 tu, apúrate mi burrito, vamos.
SA Live continues with the world record-holding youngest mariachi singer. We hear him perform a new song and talk about his passion for the music. And our Holly Jolly Week continues with easy-to-make Christmas ornaments, how you can turn a dried-out flower into a beautiful, one-of-a-kind ornament. That's next on SA Live.